crazy how people can get into that headspace. Like you said, they're worried about all the problems or just things that they don't have, but like they totally miss the things they do have, like the relationship in front of them, the car that is getting them to point A to point
Yeah,
B. It might not be the nicest car or the newest
yeah.
car, but it's in the long run, it's a lot better than the cars they
Walking.
are making now. Well, that too. And it's just like there's always somebody more or less fortunate. I like how you said walking, because like you do have that person that's walking to work every day. Even our job, walking miles to
Mm-hmm.
get to the job that we have, and people are just buying a new car, already have a car, but buying a new car at the drop of the hat. There's somebody that
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build the game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is D. Aaron Mack, and we are in the building again at 4:21 a.m. Oh yeah,
021.
yes sir.
Would have been a lot earlier had I not been dragging my feet. It
yeah,
happens.
yeah. Those early mornings, you wake up and you still feel a little droggy, or like
Groggy,
droggy, groggy,
groggy.
groggy. I say drug. You dragging around, you still feeling a little bleh. But yeah, it's like you gotta push through those moments. Like it, it's strange how like your body works, because it's like it can feel tired, but like if you're still active, if you're still trying to push through it, it's like that second wind kicks in, and then you get like a rush of adrenaline, and you're like, all right, I'm up. Took me a while,
Uh,
but I'm up, and then you're ready to start the day. But
Crazy enough though, my issue wasn't even like the groggy thing. My issue was like somebody else who was still asleep. that was my
true.
that was my situation. I was like trying to get up out of bed and somebody was like, "Hey, I need you for a minute." I'm like, "Oh, all right then. I guess I'm staying here."
That's always a good thing too. You gotta make sure both parties you know, okay. Both parties are
Yeah,
happy. Both parties
yeah.
are in good standing. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Uh, so how you been? How's your week been, sir?
My week has been it's been okay. I'm just kind of like reflecting on some things
Mm,
and just kind of watching my environment and trying not to let anything penetrate my spirit.
okay.
And what I noticed this week is that, you know, um, just me being analytical about things and just trying to figure out like, is this me being analytical or cynical? Like, it's like, am I being cynical about this when I ask questions and things of that nature? But for the most part, man, my week has been fine. I'm riding this train of what we talked about heavy, and that's why we're here to talk about it on this episode, man. And I think it's gonna help a lot of people. This message that we got today.
Okay.
A lot
Okay.
of people just like us.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Um, my week's been pretty good. Just out here trying to survive. It's crazy. Literally, like right after we got off of the last week's episode. Went outside. I think we went to go take Chase to school. Courtney's like, why's my car so dusty? And I'm like, that's not dust. That's yellow. That's pollen.
Yep.
Oh God. And I've yet to get another thing of allergy medicine, so I've been going through it a little bit, but that's my own fault. So yeah.
On this episode, talking about gratitude, I'm gonna talk about how grateful I am to not have to deal with that problem. God.
Yeah, it's a doozy. It's a doozy, and it's
Bet.
crazy because it's like it's almost like cold like symptoms, but it's just like it's not that. So it's like, why is this happening? So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Jeez, man.
But gratitude. Yeah.
Now, first of all, before we go there,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, let me fill some space a little bit because I don't know if you saw it, but I posted something online recently on Facebook, and I think it was just Facebook. But it was a story that I came across
Mhm.
about a young lady that lives in New York who went viral recently.
Okay.
And you know, everybody hopes to go viral for something. And you know, we all like, you have people, whether you out here just like making content just to like in the attempt to go viral, or you just like happen to have something happen to you and then you went viral for that. And you like, you got the people like me who trying to figure out the formula to going viral. Like, you like, that's why I study people so much, to try to figure out what the curve is. For the most part, like, it ain't necessarily working at the moment, but you know, that's neither here or there. But you know, regardless of what the situation is, you got everybody trying to do the same thing or whatever. And then you just had those people who just accidentally just fall into being viral sensations. And whether or not this is real or not is beyond the point. But this little situation here, the story that I came across was a young lady who purchased a car. Now,
Okay.
all right, now, and I think you know what I'm talking about now. Purchasing a car is a big deal for most people, you know, especially those who believe that, you know, assets and liabilities are the same exact thing. But this particular young lady, she purchased a car that is 25 years old, a 1998 Ford Escort. And it is said in this story that this young lady went viral because she paid, her car cost more than both the mines put together and the motorcycle.
Come on.
She is paying $289 a month for this 1998 Ford Escort, and she is paying on it for the next 82 months, which is somewhere around 7 years of payments,
Come on.
not including the interest that is accumulated on those. I'm
How?
gonna pull out my calculator real quick. Exactly, that's what I was saying. But like I said, I don't know if it's real. It can't be. Like, I feel like it can't be. I don't think that anybody is that. I don't think anybody is that dumb. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there like that. Like, you out here, you see people driving and everything under the sun, and like, you buying this 98 Escort.
That's crazy.
Like, if you feel like a 98 Escort is worth, hold on, let me calculate that real quick. That's the 280 That's $89, I think it was.
That's
Times
salesman.
times 12. That's 3,486 for $468 a year times 8. That's $27,000.
It's one hell of a salesman, I'll tell you that.
The hell yeah! And like on the picture, old girl was proud.
Mm.
And like I was trying to zoom in on the picture, but on the website that they put the story up,
Mm.
yeah, they didn't let you zoom in on the picture because she was holding up a paper. Boy,
Label
you couldn't see
title.
what the paper was. I was trying to see if it was what it was like. It was like if you got the title, first of all, like it's obviously fake at that point because you don't get the title until you pay the. So like that would have been cap right there. But I was just trying to figure out if that joint was real or not. But like for real, I posted that whether it was real or not. I posted it for a few different reasons, right? And like the caption that I added on there was people argue with me about financial literacy so that they can continue making decisions like this.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of people make financial decisions like based on emotions, like based on feelings. Like there would
Mm-hmm.
be no logic, no facts behind it, no thought put into it to have any type of gains in return. It's just, oh, I feel like I got this extra money. I should spend it on
Yeah,
something frivolously, something that's not gonna last, something like
yeah.
a new car or a trip somewhere, or all those things are good, but those are luxury items, luxury services. Like they have no capital return at all. They're just
Mm-hmm.
something to waste money on. Uh, and let's put it out there. We're not any financial advisors, so it,
I am
get it
not
how
your
you get
guru.
it.
Is what he trying to say. I am not your guru.
we
That's where
ain't
we're going with that.
we ain't telling you how to spend your money, but we just want you to know that there are smarter ways to spend your money.
Yeah, half of the time, like the smarter way to spend your money is just not to spend it.
Yes.
Like I'm being real. Like people
Yeah.
just like for the most part, like most people, they spend their money because they got it. And like
Mm-hmm.
you can go and you can think about it, right? You can spend a whole day just like trying to keep yourself from a situation where you had to spend money because you know you ain't got money. Then all of a sudden, when you got money, you trying to spend it on everything.
Mm.
But like when you ain't got no money and you know you ain't got no money, you just like, all right, so I can't do it. I can't do something this day. And this ain't even got nothing to do with bills. Like if your bills coming around, you gotta pay your bills regardless. I'm talking about those little small minor decisions that
Mm.
people try to stay away from when they know they don't have money. And I know for a fact because I've been there before.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I've been in a position where you in between paychecks and you just like, mm, do I really need that food over there that costs $12, or can I crush the oodles and noodles real quick? Like like
Oh.
real talk, real talk.
Uh. Yep. Yep. It's it's crazy, and it's all impulse control, really, because it's like you craving that sandwich or that food, that fast food restaurant, uh, and they just jacked up the prices, so it's gonna be a little extra than what you're used to. So it's like, do you do that? Do you spend? Do you waste your money on that? And that's gonna last you for that day, that moment. But if you go to the store, get you a loaf of bread, whatever your choice of sandwich meat, peanut butter and jelly, whatever, that'll last you at least like the whole week, or 2 weeks maybe, however you slice it, literally. Uh, and then boom, you just saved yourself a good little chunk of change for later. and you keep doing that, you keep making small decisions like that, you'll have your little cha-ching saved up so you can make those big investments or those, big moves that you can uh better your life with.
But then on top of that, like we got to get people to understand as well, though, Mark, because it ain't just that simple. We got to also get
Yeah,
people to
true.
understand that this stuff like that mentality, that lifestyle, or whatever the case, whatever have you, like
Mm-hmm.
that is supposed to be temporary. You
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be
Right.
working your way out of that. Like that's supposed to be the ground floor. Like you're supposed to work your way through that. Like you don't supposed to stay there. So like, and it's good to sit on the survival piece, right? Because that's what we're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
What we just said, everything we just said was about survival. But me, I'm not a survival type person, bro. Like I'm just being real with you. Like I ain't feeling that. So like you talking like that whole sit on bread and water for a few weeks or for the rest of your life just because you're not making enough money, bruh. Like I ain't about all that, bruh. I'm about trying to figure out how to get out of this situation in general, dog. And like that's what more people need to do. They need to figure out how to be more of the offensive type of player because this
Oh,
defense stuff don't work, bruh. Like it don't matter
yeah.
how much defense you got in the game. Like Baltimore Ravens, bro. Like I know for the longest time before they even got a chance to go to the Super Bowl and win that last joint, which was, mind you, 2017, I think it was when they won the last joint. But whenever that was, bro, like they used to get pubbed up on their defense, bro. But defense ain't got nothing to do with the game. Like it's an important integral part. But
Mm-hmm.
like if you ain't scoring, it don't even make no difference how much defense you got. Like
True.
best defensive player of the year, but the team lost. It's like, well, he's the best
Mm-hmm.
defensive player of the year. Like who cares? Your team lost, bruh. So like I ain't on that whole defense stuff, bro. Like and when I met Alyssa, bro, she was heavy on that whole defense, that save your money stuff, that penny pinch stuff, that coupon clipping stuff, bro. I'm like, nah, like you can I'm gonna let you do that. But here's what I'm gonna do. Here's my plan. Here's my five
Mm-hmm.
year plan, my goals, and here's what I'm gonna do. Like I can care less about that defense stuff, though. Like I ain't gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like and that ain't where this conversation was supposed to go. That ain't got nothing to do with financial literacy, bro. That's just that dog in me, dog. Like I ain't even want to go there, but for real, like you said that, and it just made me mad for some reason. Like, bro, my mom's still on that right now, dog. Like, yeah, and I'm 32 years old, and I watched my
Mm-hmm.
mom go through that her whole life, dog. Like, I'm like, yo, when is enough enough?
Yeah. It's only enough when that person realizes that there's more out there, and kind of reeling it back to that gratitude piece, right? Uh, I remember, growing up, you have like a limited palate because you don't like certain things, or you're only introduced to certain things, certain foods, certain places to go and whatnot. But
I
like,
don't know. Some people got that whole palate thing a little. It hit them a little harder than others. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there.
um, and it's like, that's all they know, so that's all they stick to. That's all they want, from life.
Hmm.
And it's like
Hmm.
being introduced to more things, more foods, even for myself. I was a picky eater growing up, but now I'm like I'm experimenting, in the kitchen and whatnot. I've had Hello Fresh, Factor and whatnot, and these foods were made by like gourmet people. Like they use different ingredients that you don't averagely find, or you can find some of them at like your local food line or something, but it's like food's prepared different, the food tastes different, it's something I've never tasted before, and it's been like an amazing experience. It had me wanting to hire a professional chef to like, how can I have this on like an average day basis? Like this is something we don't get every day. This is something we don't have in the community. Like we just go to the store and get it, or we just go somewhere out and get it. Like this has to be prepared. This has to be taught. Like it's something different, different from poverty lifestyle. You feel me?
No, for
And
real, like the. Oh, go ahead. My bad. I thought you were done.
oh yeah. I was just saying like we don't get this often, so it's like I want more from life, from experiencing these small little things.
Yeah, the private chef thing, right? Like I'm definitely on that. Like I ain't feeling the whole cooking boy. Like I ain't feeling that. Like I know it's necessary to have your cooking done at home. I'm
Mhm.
just not personally feeling the whole cooking thing. Like I'm the cook in my relationship, and I ain't feeling the
Mhm.
cooking. Like I'm just like, girl, for real. Like I
Word.
got stuff to do. I'm trying to relax. Like it's been a long ass day. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. The
Mhm.
last thing that I'm trying to do is cook something. I need I need that lifestyle where I can come home and the food is already there. Like just like the platter is already
Mhm.
prepared and on the table and ready for me to just sit down and eat. Like that's the kind of lifestyle I need. You know, and I said that I've said two things right already
Mhm.
in like a complaining manner, right? And I did that on purpose, just for the sake of this episode. Like I started off on two complaints just now, like the financial tip
Mhm.
earlier that I brought up, and the food part that I brought up. Like for real, like I am grateful that I was able to be sustainable enough on my own to be able to know how to cook to feed myself. And not only am I grateful now for the ability to cook, I'm grateful now for the knowledge that that I have as it pertains to the as it pertains to eating healthy. You know,
Yeah.
um, it's easy for us to look at something that we have going on and compare that to something that we want going on that's not happening right now, and then completely forget about the things that we got in front of us.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because uh in high school I had uh this date, took it to the ball and whatnot, right?
Hmm.
And like the reason the relationship was
By the ball, you mean like
military ball.
oh, okay, yeah, ROTC joint.
Hmm.
Got you,
Um,
got you.
and it was so rocky because like, and she was focused on everything else but like the relationship. Like she was focused on what people thought, all this other stuff. Literally, while we're sitting there on the floor dancing, she's just looking everywhere, looking at everybody else, and I'm just like,
Uh-huh.
yo, like
Yeah,
focus
that ain't
here.
working.
Like we're here right now together. Focus here. Like why
Uh,
is your mind like all over the place? But like literally, you have this in front of you. Like you have something great in front of you, but like your focus is just it's not here. It baffled me. Like
I'm gonna tell you exactly what that was. That wasn't. And I don't know if you ever figured it out, but usually when that happened, that mean that she wanted somebody else to take her. You just want them.
maybe. Uh,
I'm saying I had that happen to me before, and,
mm,
and that those symptoms sound the same. And when you when
word.
you when you web MD stuff, it tells you certain symptoms for certain ailments, and those symptoms that you just listed off
Mm,
was very consistent with something that I knew for a fact was happening when I took the date to my eighth grade ring dance. So, I wanted to go ahead and put that out there just like that.
nice.
Like, yeah. So she wasn't
Word,
looking around for everybody else. She was looking around
mm,
for a certain person.
word, word. But
Well, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, it's crazy how people can get into that headspace. Like you said, they're worried about all the problems or just things that they don't have, but like they totally miss the things they do have, like the relationship in front of them, the car that is getting them to point A to point
Yeah,
B. It might not be the nicest car or the newest
yeah.
car, but it's, in the long run, it's a lot better than, the cars they
Walking.
are making now. Well, that too. Uh, and it's just like there's always somebody more or less fortunate. I like how you said walking, because like you do have that person that's walking to work every day. Even our job, walking miles to
Mm-hmm.
get to the job that we have, and people are just buying a new car, already have a car, but buying a new car at the drop of the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's somebody that's disabled that can't, I ain't gonna say can't do the things that you're doing, but it's a struggle for them to at least do the normal things that you do on an everyday
Mm-hmm.
basis. Like they gotta train to, get up a flight of steps if they're doing it on their own, or they gotta go through physical therapy or something strenuous that they had to do to at least be at your level, and we're just like, oh, we got here on our own, we got here because we were placed here or something like that, and we're just like, this is simple. We begging for raises and all this other stuff, but we got people, working at a disadvantage, and you don't see them getting a higher raise because they're working a little bit harder than you. So like, what are you complaining about? Like, where's your mental at that you're just, I feel like this superior being that I should have this raise, or I should have these things.
Yeah, and the thing that, in addition to what you just said, Mark, the thing that really struck it home to me
Mhm.
was something that I was listening to recently, and I was just, I don't know, man. Like I was in a mood and I was trying to figure something out, man. And
Mhm.
I heard something said, and what the thing that was said to me was, I tried it my way before and it didn't work.
Hmm.
But something about gratitude puts you in a whole new headspace where you're able to to receive blessings as they come. And I don't know, man, something about that phrase hit me the wrong way, man, or hit me the right way, because like I was just like, yo, like, and it made me think, like, are you really grateful for the things that you have in front of you? Because, like, for real, like, I complain about the job a lot, man. Complain about everything that I got in front of me, and they're not
Mhm.
necessarily like on some I hate my life type stuff, but just on some, just when you get you so goal oriented, man. Like you just focus, like only thing that you're focusing on is the next step. So
Mhm.
like when you focusing on the next step, it's hard to forget about the step that you on. It's like at some point you're gonna have to lift your leg up, but you just complaining about that one little slat that you on, and you just looking toward the destination, but like there's a whole journey that you gotta go through, and you just like disrespecting the whole journey by just like, yo, you know what, I don't like this is dumb, this is that. Like you get
Yep.
so focused on complaining about the destination, you looking up the stairs at your destination, that you forget to walk up. Like it's literally that simple. Like what I learned about myself, like, yo, for real. And I learned this lesson multiple times. It's like I'm just gonna be real with you, Mark. I told the story. I remember on the podcast at one point I told the story about my first car.
Mm.
I remember that. Like I don't know if you remember that story or not, but I remember that, bro. Like I was 16 years old when I learned that 17 years old when I learned that lesson. And for whatever reason it didn't stick. And I guess it might have been because, I'm in a whole different I'm a completely different person than I was at that time. But like, yo, the message still applied, and I still didn't learn it
Mm.
the way it should have been learned.
Yeah. Yeah. People grow, and people have a lot of growing to do. And it's like you can't beat yourself up too much about it because it's like you said, you're a totally different person now. And your experiences, your thirst for knowledge have put you in a better mindset to receive the blessings. Um, just like you said, people will complain their way out of a blessing. Like, take the job for instance. You know, people have the job. People have the job, and they can complain about the job, but the job offers a lot of things that can better your life. Like, yeah, you can complain about how the job operates and all this other stuff, but there's things that you can take advantage of to, you know, push yourself forward, uh, push your career forward. You know, it's a weird dynamic when you introduce, you know, people into a what's supposed to be like a structured settlement. Like the structure is supposed to be, you know, XYZ, but you have people that'll come in, put their own spin on things, have their own agendas and whatnot, and then you get what we have now, our job. It's a whole bunch of ABC and a
Careful,
whole bunch of one, two,
careful, careful,
threes, and
careful, careful. Made
it's
aware, made aware of some very high profile listeners, and just gonna say that, and we're gonna leave it at that. You know, yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that later. But anyway,
all right.
yeah, yeah, you're right. You know, we could say coworkers though.
Yeah,
It's not just ours. It's anybody's
yeah.
coworkers. Like
Any job.
you have people who so focused on the next level that they forget about everything else around them. They forget about
Cool.
the things that's making their job the best job ever. They forget about the things that is for real, like I tell people, the thing that make me understand it better is the fact
Mhm.
that I came from a job where I was treated like a slave,
Mm.
like literally like a slave, like crack whips at you, like slave shit, like for real. I remember, I remember I had a manager, right? And
Mhm.
this wasn't any of the guys that work with us now, but I had a manager who would literally just stand on top of a catwalk and just look down at us and wait for us to do something wrong just so he can call us in the office and write us up, bruh. Like it was that serious, bro. Like, I can't say it was that serious, but I think that at some point when managers at certain jobs they get, I guess you could say, pressured. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't know what's being said in the main office in most places, but like I know some managers come back out to the floor and they just ready to tear everybody throats off. Like they be looking like Jeepers Creepers coming back out with their laptops. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, man. I just look at stuff like that, and I try to remember that I came from a worse situation, and that it could be worse, man. Like that's the main thing. Like, it could be worse. I could be doing a lot worse. There could be, and there's people who don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have the ability or the blessings that I have in place.
Mm.
And meanwhile, I'm sitting up here complaining about what I got going on, and there's somebody else who's wishing for what I have going on because they don't have anything going on. And
Mm.
it takes me back to the small wins conversation that we had where you tried to drill the lesson into me about, like, receive everything or every accomplishment as a winning step forward. And I guess
Mhm.
for whatever reason, before that conversation, I wasn't looking at it like a winning step forward, bro. I was looking at it like I don't know what I was looking at it as. I was just like trying to stack them jokers up, and I was like, maybe at some point, I just kept looking for that big win. I wasn't looking for the small wins. I was looking for that big win. But when you do that, you psych yourself out because at some point with me looking for that big win and having so many small accomplishments that I wasn't acknowledging, at some point I could have psyched myself out and was like, you know what, this ain't working. What am I doing this for? Why am I going so hard trying to do this and I ain't getting nothing accomplished? Meanwhile, you got a whole stack of accomplishments. You got, diploma after diploma over there. You got certificates everywhere. You got all these books right here. But, you just look at, because you ain't go bestseller yet, because you ain't making that bestseller rank yet, you ain't did nothing. You ain't did absolutely jack squat. All this artwork that I'm working on right now to build the universe, this fan base that I'm building up right now, that successful promo that I just got 200 new people signed up to my mailing list, none of that really matters because I ain't making the bestseller yet. So if you don't look at those small wins right there, if you don't look at the accomplishments in between, then, it puts you in the mind space where, you just like, I don't know why I'm doing this, bro.
Mm-hmm. Let's not forget about the DIYs that you got, let's not forget about the chaos emeralds up top, the things that you've taken time out to just build for yourself. Hey, yours.
That ain't mine. That's from Sonic, bro.
I mean, hey, but you made it though.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Anyway, I was gonna say it's a learning process because, like you said, people can psych themselves out of anything. Like we got people at the job that's in the same boat. Like they have many accomplishments, they have many skills, but because of
you never know it.
Big facts.
You'll never know it because they don't talk about it. All the thing they do is complain about it right now.
Yep, and they totally missed the mark on like just simple things. Like we got people that are amazing in the kitchen. We got people that are amazing with a toolbox. They can rebuild engines and whatnot. But like because of where they are right now, they see that as insignificant. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing here? I understand you need money and all this other stuff, but you can rebuild an engine. I can open up the hood of my car right now, and I know a little bit of what I'm looking at, but there are pipes, screws, nuts, and bolts that I have no idea where they lead to.
I still gotta Google stuff sometimes, bro.
Right.
I'm just like, and I know how to work on cars for like a slight bit. Like I did the little joining in Courtney's old car. Like we did that. Like, but I still had to Google some stuff, bro. Like it's some dudes that'll look at that joint. Like we had to Google the symptoms of the car to figure out what it was. There's some dudes that you would have told that to, and they would have been like, "Oh yeah, man, that's the thermostat."
Like what?
The what?
The thingy with the red stuff in it that goes up with the temperatures?
Yeah. The temperature control, bro. Nah, man.
Like
How
that's in the car?
they make the OB? Yeah.
But yeah, you got people with God-given talents, and because of a external crisis or external situation, they just push their talents aside. It's just like I can't do this, or I can't have my talent make me successful because of whatever people have poisoned your mind with. And it's like you were given that talent to do great things with it, to show off with it, to just do it and be happy. But because of, like I said, people around you, the poisoning well of what is a 9 to 5, you feel like it's insignificant. It's nothing you could do about it. But like no one else can do it like you can. Like no one else can play an instrument like Beethoven or or whatever. These are great artists, yes, but you have your own spin on things. You have your own taste, like your own flavor that you put on things. And it's like whatever you do, you add you add value to it just by doing it. Like, but yet we don't do those things because we don't see many people be successful in that area, or we don't see it making us like a instant gratification, you know.
Yeah, that's the biggest part right there. That that you're stuck somewhere because you don't feel like moving forward is going to actually help.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And because you don't respect where you are, you disrespect the steps that it takes to move forward.
Ooh.
And like I said, like, bro, for real, like, this is what I learned recently in the last few weeks, man. Because like I've been on this gratitude tip hard, bro. And I recently started waking up earlier. Like, I was already waking up early. Like, we started doing the podcast at 4:00 in the morning because for whatever reason Marcus don't sleep, and this is what time I wake up. And I've been doing it for years, so we just kind of started doing the podcast during this little crossover, boy. And I started waking up earlier so that I could have some time to think. And I ain't tell nobody I was doing it. I ain't tell nobody it was that I ain't put it out there like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm about to do. Like, no, I ain't do none of that, bro. I just did it. Like, I just, like, one day it was like, all right, cool. I listened to that message, I heard that, and like I was just like, you know what? Let me switch my alarm. Let me add an alarm to the 4:00. So I added a 3:30 alarm, and I was like, you know what? I got it. So I woke up at 3:30 one day, bro, and I just sat there and I just thought, like, just sat up with my thoughts, bro. And I did it for 30 minutes, and I was like, yo, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for that. Like, I was just going through it. I'm like, yo, thank you for this. Like, I just went through it. And I kept doing it, and over time, what I learned was, like, yo, like, the things that you are upset about on a day-to-day basis, like, none of that really matters. Like, you knew it didn't matter before, but now you feel that. You was just telling yourself that it didn't matter at first. Now you feel that. You have that in essence now. Like, all of the things that you got going on, like, yo, like, you can complain about everything that you got going on in front of you. You can complain about your job. You can complain about your manager. You can complain about your coworkers. But, like, for real, be thankful for them. Because, like, for real, like, if you didn't have these people, you wouldn't be learning the lessons that you're learning right now. Be thankful for that. Be thankful for the experiences that you're having right now, even though they might not be the best experiences in the world. But if you're not thankful for them, then you can't learn from them. You can't learn from something that you're not thankful for, because if you're not thankful for it, that means you don't respect it. And if like, we can all think back on high school or any kind of school, like, we had a teacher, and the teacher we respected. We go in that, I can't wait to go in this teacher's class. This teacher's cool, or whatever the case was. But for whatever reason, you get up and you come to this teacher class one day, and you get a substitute teacher. And you just like, you know what, man, fuck this class. Like, you just like, yo, I don't even care no more. For real. And I say that to prove a point. There was a time when I was in high school, bro, and I swear, we loved this teacher. We loved her. But she missed work one day, and this teacher never missed work. So we were confused. Like, we walked in her class, and she wasn't there, and there was some dude there. Bruh, I promise you, we ended up finding out that the dude had more qualifications. And I don't think my classmates ever really caught on to what my man was saying. But when he started talking and he started saying where he came from, what his alma mater was, bro, like, he was like, this dude had some, I don't know what he was doing there. Like, he was like a master's. He had a master's in something. I can't remember what he had a master's in. But, like, yo, I was like, yo, our teacher don't even have a master's. Like, what is this? Like, he was more qualified to speak on the situations that we were there to learn about than our actual teacher was. But nobody respected him because the teacher wasn't there. You gotta hear what I'm saying, bro. You gotta hear what I'm saying. We didn't respect them, so we didn't listen. So when you don't respect what you have in front of you, when you don't respect what's going on in your life, when you don't respect the things that you have, it's hard to gain from those things, because you can gain from everything that you go through. You can gain from everything that you're doing. But if you don't respect it, then you don't even realize that you can. So therefore you don't.
That's true. That's true. So a recent story, not even a recent story. It was something you did one time at work, right? Uh, that a lot of people would probably like overlook, right? So I think one of our janitorial company system or whatever, they was coming through, uh, and I think they were picking up the trash, and I
Mm-hmm.
think you had uh took the bag out and handed it to the person, help them out a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize, people would look at that job and be like, I wouldn't be caught dead doing that. I wouldn't be caught dead being in a sanitational field or whatever. But that's a money making business. People need, sanitation. People need somebody to scrub toilets.
Oh.
People need somebody to come through and like, you know, get that stuff out of the septic tanks and whatnot, or
Mm-hmm.
you will have a big problem on your hands, And it was crazy because we had this one janitor in high school, and I recently learned from working on a power plant that he has his own sanitation company. They come
Yeah.
out and they collect all the well they basically clean and sanitize all the porta potties. They got this big tanker or whatever that comes to suck all the
Yeah.
mess out, put the solution back into the toilets or whatever, the porta potties, and they spray it down and make it look real nice, smelling fresh and whatnot. And he goes around many different construction sites or any place that you see a porta potty. His company goes and cleans that out. And I just sat there and I was like, yo, this construction site alone has about like 100 something porta potties scattered everywhere. And you're telling me you're going to different construction sites doing this? I'm like, this man is making a killing. Like, and he doesn't have like the flashy car. He don't walk around with a Rolex or whatever. But like, he's making a living for. He's making a killing for himself. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like people would look at that and just be like, that's a horrible job. Like, you see the
Mm-hmm.
memes or whatever, right? Where it's a lady walking with her son, and she's like, "Oh, you need to go to college so you won't ever end up like a janitor or whatever." You know, but this janitor, he has a degree for what he had, for what he's doing. He's making enough for himself, his family, and many other generations of his family. But you want your son to, be nothing wrong with being a lawyer or anything, but you want your son to be indebted to this rat race
Mm-hmm.
to pull you out. Because I'm pretty sure the only reason you want to go to college and do all this other stuff is because you failed short somewhere, or
Yeah.
you didn't cut it. So now you're pushing your dreams onto you know your son or your daughter, or
Yeah.
your offspring basically. And it's like,
Yeah.
just having that gratitude puts you in a different headspace. Like, it makes you see things differently. Like, you can go and just go through your everyday life and see like, yo, this person. Let me talk to this person real quick. Like, yo, what do you do here? And then you get this whole backstory of, I did XYZ, and now I'm in a place where I can support my family's family, my spouse's family, you know, and you would have never known that just by, complaining or looking at this person as inferior or insignificant or whatever. You would have totally just brushed them by. You wouldn't have got the knowledge you needed to, you know, make a certain plan that could have, boosted your career or found this secret to success. Basically, you would have never found this out if you would have was just on your high horse, just like, I'm above everybody, just trotting around. You would have never found that out.
Yeah. And we this whole podcast is about personal and self-development, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is a huge problem as it pertains to personal and self-development that I learned in this in this whole ordeal as it pertains to being finding that gratitude or whatever not. Like, I found a huge problem in this self-development space, man. And that problem is the fact that once you start walking out of the dark, once you start walking out of the dark of what your life is, it becomes real easy to was how do I put this, bro? And I want to make it real plain because I'm trying not to make it too deep because it ain't that deep, bro. Like, for real. Once you start walking out of the dark of what your life is, the light starts to make you retract back into the dark. And what do I mean by that, right? When I met Alyssa, right? I'm just going to give a broad example. When I met Alyssa, and Mark, you probably remember this as well. She was like the most positive person in the world, bro. Like, the girl couldn't be fazed by nothing, and somehow, once she started getting the self development piece, and she started realizing who she was, and where her life was supposed to be at, and how to take charge of who she was. Like, and ain't nothing wrong with that, but and she learned the lesson as well. Like, she could even tell you that at some point she started to dread what she currently was, because she wasn't where she wanted to be. And like, before the self-development piece, and even I can attest for this, bro, because back then when I knew less, it felt like life was easier when I knew less. It felt like I was on top of the world, but then at some point the world shifted beneath me, and then all of a sudden I was like, yo, this don't feel good. So like, I learned a lot, but then when I learned a lot, all of the things that I thought I knew became things that I didn't know, if that make any sense. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, bro, but like, it's easy to be positive when you don't know nothing. It's easy to be positive when you don't know nothing. And then all of a sudden, when you start learning the things about the background, it's almost like, the Wizard of Oz, right? You walk down the yellow brick road a little bit, and you skipping down the yellow brick road hand in hand with the lion, the Tin Man, and the scarecrow or whatnot. And y'all just you just skipping on down the road, singing songs or whatever, nursery rhymes, and then all of a sudden you get the eyes, and you get behind the curtain, and then all of a sudden you just like, yo, it ain't what I thought it was. So like, when you get to that point, right? It's hard to be grateful for where you are when you realizing that you'd have wasted your time. That you could have been doing better. You could have been whatever in the world you wanted to be at some point, or you feel like you're getting older now. So if I was younger, I could have. If I had told if I knew then what I know now, all that stuff. Like, it's hard to break away from the feeling of resentment when you start to learn what you're capable of, and on the back end. So like, once that starts happening, bro, it's easy to push the gratitude aside.
Yeah.
When that happens, bro, that's what, and that's where and I took the long way around that, but that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Like, it's easy when you don't know anything to be grateful for everything. When you don't know nothing, it's easy to be grateful for everything. But when you have that knowledge, something about that. It's something about gaining that knowledge puts you in a mind space where you're not grateful for the things that you got going on, bro.
Ooh. Is all right. So I got many things. All right. So it it does happen, and it's like there's a I guess like a patience piece that needs to be in there. You know, a lot of people, you know, when they learn a lot, they see that, oh, you know, I've I've could have took this path, or I could have done this, and this would have, you know, skyrocketed me to, you know, this location or this position in my life. Uh, but it's like building a house. Like you gotta put down the foundation, and then you gotta layer brick by brick by brick to build the house. The house don't just come out of nowhere, you know, unless you pay for it. But like, I mean, still somebody had to build that piece by piece, you know. Uh, and it's like it a lot of things we talk about, you know, it reverts back to, you know, biblical things. Like the reason you know, Adam and Eve got kicked out the garden is because they ate from the
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 forbidden
the,
tree.
tr- the forbidden tree, which was the tree of knowledge. Now, there was two trees in there. The tree of like eternal life or something that would give them eternal life, and there was the tree of knowledge. Now, because they ate from the tree of knowledge, they couldn't eat from the tree of eternal life or whatnot. Reason being is because now they have that knowledge. They have the knowledge of sin, of resentment, of you know, of all this negative things with the bad, with the good. I mean, and it's like God kicked them out because now that they have all this knowledge, they would be living forever in torment because of the knowledge. Like there would be resentment of things that, you know, they didn't do right, or there would be fear of things that, you know, they don't understand, that or they have yet to understand. So that's why they got kicked out. And it's like that reverts back to now. That fast forward to now, uh we torment ourselves because we gain this knowledge, and we're just like, we get stuck in this place of, now that I know where I could be, um I'm upset, or I'm frustrated, or I'm depressed because I could have been here but I didn't take the steps to get there. But like, it- you know, time is irrelevant when, you know, you're working on a career or something, because you can always start. You can always start now. You know, you could always get to the point that you want to be. Yeah, you might be a little old. Yeah, you might be, you know, 30 years in, 40 years in. There's never an age where you can't start.
Mm.
But we let uh society tell us that, oh, we're too old to do this, or we're too young to do this. We can't do this unless we're this age, you know, or you know, only this age group is in the game killing it right now at this, you know, certain business or this certain career choice. But like, why put that limiter on you, right? We got to get out of that
Yeah.
headspace that everything is timed. Like we need time to prepare ourselves, or we need to know it, or know everything at this age, and then be successful by, you know, our 50s or 60s or whatever. There's 50 years old just getting their life together that are making, you know, big career changes that, you know, would help their grandkids or whatnot. You know, there's people with kids that are doing things that we think if we had kids we couldn't be able to do. You know, there's people doing the things, but they've most likely gotten out of that headspace of, I can't do it because I didn't know back then. Well, now you know. What are you gonna do with that information now? Oh, you froze. If you're saying something, wait, you froze. Okay, all right, you back.
Froze as in I stopped moving.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I don't even remember what I was about to say now. That's I underestimated where you were going with that, but yeah, that's definitely a good way to put it, bro. The Adam and Eve thing, man. Like I wasn't even I didn't realize that's where you were going with that, and that's a good way to tie the two situations in that fit perfectly. So yeah, thank you for going there. But mm, damn man, I think we go ahead and start wrapping it up on that one, bro.
Yeah, we done hit the hour mark. All right, man. We got anything coming up for the people?
For the people, I have oh man, working on a few art pieces at the moment. I got one in front of me that I've been putting effort into, and testing out a few different techniques and whatnot. But
Okay.
other than that, man, I don't really have much, man. The book is still coming. I haven't made a release date yet. I did say that on the last time I would have a release, but I'm gonna be real. I didn't even put no to it because I had so many other things going on right now. Just finished up one of the promos that I was doing with a group of authors. Like I said, I got about 200 new subscribers to the mailing list on that. So you know that was a amazing thing. And somewhere before the end of the week, we'll be back on Zoom. So I'll be doing the virtual Shut Up and Write meetup. So it's gonna be fun, man.
Hey, word. Uh, so all in all, we in the lab working. We got things coming out for you guys. Soon. So just stick with us, stay with us. We do this for y'all. We love y'all. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.